G'day everyone, how's it all going? So today we have got something so super special and rare. This thing is a Royal Australian Air Force emergency flying ration. And this one was very kindly donated to me by the reviewer, BTemples. Now he's got his own reviewing channel over in Canada there, and he actually won this on eBay, but instead of sending it to himself to be the first person to review one of these, he sent it to me instead. Now that is a top bloke if ever you think of one. Hit the link to his channel in the description box below, go on there, hit subscribe, check out his videos, leave a like, leave a comment, let him know that I sent you. This bloke is just absolutely fantastic and I can't thank him enough. So BTemples, cheers brother. Unfortunately, because this is the first time one of these has been reviewed, there's not really much information online about them. But what I do know is that it actually has 2 of these tins which are in a camouflage pouch and is given to pilots and crew of aircraft in the Royal Australian Air Force. The one we have today was actually produced on the 15th of December 2009. It has some printing on the metal casing here, emergency flying ration, and some sort of a code. I don't know whether that's standards code or something like that. But other than that, there's nothing on here other than a bit of this fabric tape holding it together and sealing it. And you can see where it's had a little bit of a knock and damage there, a little bit of a dent. Some of that tape sort of rubbed away a little bit. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. And because there's not much info about it, what better way to find out than to crack into it? So, let's do it. Now, I was thinking of actually just peeling this tape off, but I'd like to preserve it as much as possible. So I'm actually just going to cut around here with this knife. Hopefully, that'll be enough to be able to open him up. So, let's try it. Oh. Wow. The first thing we have is the menu sheet and some information. So it says here that it was packed between 2009 and 2010. So, the Emergency Flying Ration, EFR, provides a range of food and other survival items. The rate of consumption of the EFR depends on the task being performed and the supply and quantity of water available. All food items from the EFR should only be consumed when adequate water supply is available. The length of time you could be in a survival situation is unknown, and you must determine how best to use any ration provided to maximize your chances of survival. The circumstances in which you find yourself will dictate the amount you eat each day. Plan this carefully by eating a portion of each kind of food. Avoid keeping foods for extended periods to maximize food acceptability. Be conscious of the need to conserve body water by preventing loss through sweating. In hot and or humid climates, at sea or on land, utilize shade and breeze where possible. Loosen clothing and when possible avoid exertion. If possible, only travel by night when on foot. And in big letters here, no matter how thirsty you are, do not drink salt water and do not add salt water to freshwater rations. Jeez. I'm going to get some photos of this stuff just so you can go through it all yourself. There's some more info on the back here, and we've got a contents list as well. I'll put the photos at the end of this review. So we've got a couple of metal rods here, which can be used as handles, and it's actually got some holes on the side here of the tin, which you can use to stick those in there and hold it so you can boil some water or something in there, or use it as a bowl, whatever you need. Next, we've got some toilet paper here, and tell you what, if you're stuck on desert island, at least that's a little bit of extra comfort you can have. Got a tea bag here, 2 instant coffees, 4 skim milk powders, 2 Australian Defence Force chocolate rations. Wow. Yep, even these are in the old dark green as well. So, yep, back from 09. this is something very different. We've actually got water purification tablets in here. And it says add 2 tablets to 1 quart or litre of water. And it's even got like a wax coating on here to keep it waterproof as well. Jeez. Wow. Very cool. Next thing we have, actually looks a bit like a safety knife. Try and open him up and have a look. So it's pretty cool. You've actually got a little hole there where you can put a string through or something like that. Tie it onto your uniform or your belt, whatever you've got, and you keep it in place. Wow. Just pull it out like that. As soon as you release the pressure, self-retracting. So, that's not too bad. Don't know how good it will be, but I guess it will do a little bit of a job that you need it to, just in those emergency situations. Really hope no one had to use these. Next, high energy sports drink powder, and this one's mixed berry. And wow, that thing is very, very solid and sticky inside there. Got a little pack of matches, just like the normal one that you get in the CR1Ms that we've seen. Got your waterproof or windproof as well as your normal ones. And probably, yeah, we've got a little bit of cotton there at the bottom as well, just to help with starting any fires. Tropical fruit bar. And still, it's not hard as a rock. It's still a little bit of sticky and movement in there, so maybe okay. Biscuits, Scotch fingers. They're good. 55-gram pack of candy chocolates. Got our scouring pad so we can clean this stuff up. And then we've got 3 twin packs of sugar. And finally, got a couple little bags here. So this one here is just a normal little plastic bag, no seal or anything like that on it. But this one, we've got another bag with a Ziploc seal. So just to put whatever you need in there, probably just to really help with keeping it all watertight as well. So I'll lay this all out and we can have a proper look at it. So for the edible stuff that we have in here, we've got 4 skim milk powders, 2 instant coffees, 6 sugars, candy chocolates, a tea bag, Scotch finger biscuits, tropical fruit bar, high energy sports drink powder mixed berry flavour, and 2 ADF chocolate rations. For all the non-food items, we've got these 2 plastic bags here. We've got the tin with the handles to use as a bit of a container for water, or maybe some cooking up or boiling of water if you needed to. Our toilet paper, safety knife, water purification tablets, matches, scouring pad, and our information and contents lists. So after about 9 years, let's see how this food held up. So let's get these drinks made up, and I'm really interested to see how this berry drink goes, as well as the skim milk powder and stuff like that. Just see how it actually held up. Another thing I noticed was there's no real spoon, so you'd probably use maybe one of those wires to stir it, or your finger, or maybe even just a clean stick or something like that when you're mixing up your sugars and stuff. But I'm going to actually use a CR1M spoon. And seeing as we've got the safety knife, let's actually use it. Be real careful here, because of these powders could go anywhere. Wow. Yep. Yeah, don't know about that. Looks like mold and all sorts of stuff in there. So I'm going to give that one a miss. What a shame. Well, that was really unfortunate, but I guess we still got these other ones here to go. So I'll chuck in the tea bag. Might as well chuck in the sugar as well into the tea. I'm not going to bother with any of this skim milk creamer stuff for the tea, but go coffee as well. Whoa. Mold central inside that coffee. Oh, jeez. Not really holding up too many hopes for the rest of this ration. Jeez. Well, coffee's out too. Well, I guess I will be putting in the skim milk into the tea. Hopefully this is held up. No. Yellow as anything. Let's have a sniff. Very sour smell coming from that. Jeez, I guess 9 years old and not knowing its sort of background, it's pretty difficult to see or guess how these would actually go. But, oh, still very lucky to be able to try one, crack into it. So I'll chuck in the water here for the cup of tea. And then we'll get the rest of it on the tray. So let's go around the table here. I'll start off with these candy chocolates. Oh, actually, they look pretty good considering. You can see the age has definitely affected them there with them splitting open a little bit. Chocolate inside looks pretty light in colour. Tropical Fruits Bar. Looks really good actually. Give that one a sniff. Just smells like old books. But it is still very pliable and I can't see anything wrong with it, so definitely going to give that one a crack. And we'll get into our Scotch finger biscuits as well. Whoa. Oh, no way. They're actually all in one piece. Perfect. And yep, they're the Arnott's ones. And seeing as that skim milk powder's gone so badly, I really do not hold up any hopes for this chocolate ration. Nope. Wow. Yep, no surprises at all with how that one looks. It's going to be super crumbly. Yep, just break straight apart with not much pressure at all. Give it a sniff. Look, the funny thing about this ADF chocolate is that it does sort of, even though it looks terrible and it might go a bit grainy, it still tastes pretty good. So it smells okay. Let's give it a crack. Very, very powdery and grainy. As soon as I bit into it, it just shattered apart and was basically, I was just like I had some powdered chocolate in my mouth. It hasn't got any weird aftertaste or anything like that, so even though it looks pretty bad, it's probably still fine. Give it a bit of a quick stir. Seems like all the sugars have dissolved really well in here. And I might actually give this fruit bar a bit of a go. Looks super fresh, doesn't look like it's aged at all. Very, very stale tasting. You have to search really hard to actually find any taste of the fruits in there. The oats have firmed up quite a lot and you have to really chew a fair bit to go through them. And you are left with a slightly weird sort of oily film in your mouth after you eat it. I might try some of this tea to get rid of that oily taste. So far, the best tasting thing in the whole ration is that cup of tea. It is the Bell brand, which is what they currently have in the ADF CR1Ms. So it's a nice, smooth black tea. And that little bit of sugar in there is great for a bit of sweetness as well. Try the Scotch finger biscuit. You know what? Surprisingly enough, that wasn't too bad. It is slightly stale, but still has a bit of a crumbliness to it. It's not super soft or anything. You do get a bit of the taste from the shortening though, which is starting to come out of it after all this time. And finally, let's try some of these candied chocolates, or what we call in Australia, Smarties. And yeah, I know you've got Smarties over in other countries as well, but it seems like there's quite a few different types of lollies which are called Smarties. But that's what we call these here. The chocolate in here is definitely old, and you can tell that just by looking at it, that it's gone so light. A lot like that little ration that we've got down there, the Australian Defence Force ration. But still tastes pretty good, and the candy on the outside still nice and crunchy and sweet as well. Well, I have to say this is got to be the coolest ration I've ever reviewed. Even though this stuff was mainly off or old, I do not care in the slightest. It was so cool checking out such a rare ration. And BTemple, mate, thank you so much again. Everyone, please go onto his page, check out his channel. He's got quite a bit of the rare stuff to check out too. So you'll really enjoy his channel. Definitely go on there, check it out. Promised, I'm going to chuck those pictures up right now for you. Thanks heaps for watching, everyone. See ya.